I think we were discussing tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is our national disease, and we, as our doctors, have our social and moral responsibility to treat this disease, to cure this disease. Because what I explain to my patients is very simple. If you are not being treated, you are a bomb in a society. You will burst, you will die, of course. And before dying, you will infect at least 5 to 10 or 15% before you die. And you, of course, those all people will be your own family members, of course. And to be very precise, every patient is dying every minute worldwide, and every 1.5 minutes in India. So that number is around 1,000 in India and around 1,500 worldwide. Every day there are new patients of tuberculosis, which are around 5,000 patients, new patients, who are developing tuberculosis. So again, it's a separate chapter, and after learning so much about tuberculosis, I feel still I know a little bit about tuberculosis. It's a very dreadful disease, and now in the time of in this era, I think in MDR, XDR, and even TDR, patient is dangerous for you also. Now there is a concept of having a split like AC chamber fitted in your practicing chamber, and that works whole night, which purifies all the air and throws it out. Your air chamber is clean, because we are working in the small chambers and infected chambers. Risk of tuberculosis in our professional is very high. I think it's very, very high. So you should go ahead on investing those things, because people are now coming with something like AC, big sized AC, and that is a pure purifier. It kills, it purifies TB bacilli also. Coming to the topic of today, it's a very specific topic of vaccines is going to come. We'll be discussing about illness of influenza and what are the current recommendations for influenza, and evaluation, revolution, and first VLP influenza vaccine, which is yet to come. Influenza virus, it occurs in two different types of patterns: annual and global pandemic. Annual seasonal is very commonly, we all know, it's a seasonal flu which occurs usually in the month of August and September. It is isolated, it is seen which type of flu is this, and then vaccine is being made according to that. Unfortunately, in India still it is not being made, and which was made before was a failure. It's being imported from outside. Annual seasonal epidemics occurs during winter months in the temperature countries and year round, and may include multiple waves lasting more than a year in total. About 5 to 20% of the population is infected with influenza virus every year. This is a huge, huge number. Symptoms: fever, headache, dry cough, cold, sore throat, muscle aches. And what are the complications? Bacterial pneumonia is the most common complication, other than otitis media, sinusitis, dehydration, worsening of COPD, asthma, and CHF. Any chronic condition like CKD patients, they develop influenza, they are in first. This was the pandemics era of virology. You can see different pandemics, different years, number of deaths in virus subtypes. Latest, we are all aware of swine flu, which was in 2009 to 2010. Around 18,000 deaths were reported. H1N1, still it is going on, and around 20 days back, one of our patient, I think he was positive. He was H1N1 positive. So it has started, and we have seen some few patients in Meerut also. So in Muzaffarnagar, in Meerut, still it was, I think H1N1 has come. Which virus cause influenza? There are 3 subtypes, A, B, and C. A and B are responsible for seasonal epidemics. What is the difference between this epidemic, pandemic? Pandemic means it is everywhere and every time, can infect anyone, and epidemics usually comes into burst in between. Classified into different subtypes and strains based on the glycoprotein present on the surface, like hemoglobin is H1 to H2, 3, 4, 5 till H17, and neuraminidase is N1 to N9. Infection in humans is typically caused by displaying H1 and H2 and N3, H3 and N1 or N2. So you can see the combinations of H1 N1, H1 N2, H2 N1, H2 N2. Like you can see the different combinations which are occurring in human beings. Coming to influenza B virus, it infects only humans. Responsible for annual epidemics but not pandemics. Classified into two different lineages, Yamagata and Victoria. Presently, this year, both of the variations are present and vaccines strains of varying degree. Periodical epidemics, new variation results of seasonal epidemics. That is the mutation and selection is there. That is the only reason every year you have to have a new vaccine for that. Due to this drift. And what is the shift? This is pandemic flu. This is dangerous, abrupt, drastic, discontinuous variation in the antigenic surface, resulting in novel virus strain. There is an absolutely different strain which is not present previously, unrelated to antigenicity to the predecessor strain. Involves hemagglutinin and neuraminidase both. Yes, H1N1 is one of the most common cause. Antibodies to the previous virus do not neutralize the new variant, not accounted by mutation. Changes are more significant than those associated with antigenic drift. Changes lead to emergence of potential pandemic strains by the creating virus that is markedly different from the recently circulating strains, so that almost all the people have no pre-existing immunity. Means it's an absolutely new strain. What had happened? Swine flu was supposed to be in swines, in pigs. And again it was in birds also. So it was in humans also. Now there was a strain which combined all three, and a new strain had developed in 2009. That was swine flu, which has no pre-existing immunity. So number of deaths were very common. Mostly the patient who were dying was not aged, or maybe in which which we give the vaccines also. The death was more seen in the reproductive age group, which was reproductive, and time to death, infection to death was 4 to 5 days. It's a practically bad flu, wholly new threat to humans. Compared to seasonal flu, pandemic influenza infects more people, cause more severe illness and cause more deaths. Seasonal flu virus most often causes severe disease in very young, very old, and those with chronic illness, but pandemic influenza strains infects and kills young healthy individuals. We have seen in pregnant females also. Some of them survive, but after diagnosing H1N1, most of them do not survive. Who should receive seasonal flu vaccine? Now this is a question. There are recommendations, CDC recommendation. They say routinely annual influenza vaccination is recommended for all healthy individuals, all for more than 6 months age. In universal immunization program it is included in West. But WHO says are different. People of high risk of influenza related complications like adults, including pregnant females and children with chronic conditions like respiratory disease, asthma, COPD, cardiovascular, CAD, heart failures, diabetes, metabolic diseases, cancers, CHF, CRF, chronic liver disease, immunocompromised, seniors above 65, everybody above 65 should get vaccinated, pregnant women, children from 6 months to 59 months, means 6 months to 5 years. All should be recommended. This is WHO guidelines. Now, people capable of transmitting influenza to those at high risk complications, like we all, health workers, staff working in ICU, if they develop breastfeeding mothers, household contacts of persons of high risk, means if you are high risk, you should give the vaccines to your family also. Now, what are the Indian recommendations? Currently not included in universal immunization program, but recommended by Geriatric Society of India. Every individual, every elderly, more than 65 years. Recommended by FOXI, pregnant females beyond 26 weeks, and recommendation by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, all health care workers, all. Recommendations by Indian Academy of Pediatrics, all children with risk factors, and of course where vaccine is desired or requested by the parents, you have to go ahead. What are the benefits of influenza vaccine? Seasonal influenza vaccine, it's a misnomer, it's not a vaccine which protects you 100%. But yes, it reduces the likelihood of developing influenza illness requiring a medical visit, about 60%. Reduces severity of disease in those who develop influenza, and reduces likelihood of transmitting. That is more important. You will not transmit this disease. And also reduces influenza related to 80%. Now mind you, it is not 100% vaccination. All of us should be vaccinated with influenza every year, irrespective. Now this strain has not changed. The same vaccine is available again and again. But yes, it should be done again and again because it does not cover 100%. Transmission rates are reduced if you give. Now this is a booster dose. If you give a booster dose. This is a evaluation of vaccines in 1933. Influenza trivalent. Trivalent means influenza A and influenza X were available. That is trivalent. There is classification which is not standardized. There is a staging. This is stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, or these vaccines are more developed. But yes, they say it is, if it is a monovalent, it is first, it is bivalent, it is second, and trivalent, it is third. Now in 1938, first egg-based influenza vaccine was introduced, which is holding till today. First culture-based influenza vaccine was launched in Europe in 2007, and first insect cell culture vaccine approved by US FDA was in 2013. What is the revolution? Recombinant cell culture technology is the revolution, of course, virus-like particles, which does not have the RNA of the virus itself. Involves construction of VLP. It's nano-sized particle which mimics external structure of the virus but lacks intact genetic material. So it is not immunogenic. More rapid adaptability to produce new strains than egg-based vaccines. What available in the market still is egg-based. But yes, third generation, second generation vaccines, they say like you have Sanofi vaccine, which is Vaxigrip. I think this is second generation vaccine. The latest third generation vaccine which is available still is egg-based, and which is Abbott company. So more rapid adaptability to produce new strains than egg-based vaccine, and proven technology. VLP-based hepatitis B and HPV vaccines are commercialized. Advanced proprietary technology. How it is constructed? Genetic sequence encoding vaccines antigens selected by and synthesized gene cloned in baculovirus, and then it is infested with insect cells. Then these buds form from the cell membrane and concentrated and purified. This is the difference between influenza virus and in vaccine of VLP, virus-like particles. You can see that only difference is genetic material. Genetic material is not available in this VLP vaccine, and it is available in the influenza vaccine. Practically same without genetic material. And what are the advantages? It is designed to match individual viral strain, reliable vaccine availability, and of course less labor in. This is being launched, I think. This is new vaccine to come, developed by Cadila only. Basically, they have collaborated with Novavax, which has developed this vaccine. Presentation is again same, 0.5, but all vaccines are available which can be given either intramuscular or subcutaneous. But they recommended only deltoid intramuscular. All three strains, H1N1, H3N2 and type B strains. Recommended trivalent seasonal influenza vaccine. Now there are other vaccines available. There are northern hemisphere available, southern hemisphere available, perennial available, seasonal. There are 3, 4, 5 different types of vaccines available. In India, The perennial vaccine which we use is Southern Hemisphere vaccine, which is more prevalent in Australia. The mechanism: 50 patients were taken, they tested the titer on day 0 to day 21. They found it very high and very superior. Unlike egg-based, which presently is available, if patient is having allergy to eggs, so he may have allergy to these vaccines. But contrary, this vaccine is safe, exact genetic material is matched, and rapid production, which can be as early as 10 to 12 weeks. And apart from this, 7 to 8 months on egg-based. This is live attenuated vaccine. Unlike to live attenuated, we are not using except in polio. Can be used in severely immunocompromised patients. Live attenuated usually is not used, but yes, influenza, I think intranasal vaccine is available, which is live attenuated, which is hardly used. H1N1 also vaccine cum treatment is available in Rotacap forms. That is, I think it's a drug. Like other seasonal vaccines, should be used in caution with individual with moderate to severe illness, with or without fever. Usually we should not avoid vaccination in fever. History of GB syndromes within 6 weeks of recipient of influenza vaccine should not be given, and any allergy to particular vaccine. And what are the salient features? I think we have discussed this.